Creative expression is absolutely vital to a healthy throat chakra. If you have any throat chakra issues, like the inability to really speak your truth, express who you truly are, maybe you don't feel seen and heard in the world, maybe you have thyroid issues, maybe you just have a really sore neck, maybe you lack will and motivation. Well, I invite you to just listen for the next 10 minutes because I'm going to talk about how incorporating some more creativity or introducing creativity into your life can really help with those throat chakra issues. And so, who am I to talk about this? I am Cheryl, the throat chakra shaman, and I am absolutely on a mission to help people become empowered through speaking their truth and the truth of who they truly are so that they can live their purpose. I really like to see people moving forward pain-free. None of us have to really have pain. None of us have to have pain. We can all move beyond our pain, working with the throat, working with the chakras. And so what I want to talk about, my own story, I had a lot of trouble expressing my truth. And I think, well, how did creativity have anything to do with that? And when I was a child, I expressed myself creatively. I did a lot of the typical things that kids did. There were plenty of crayons in our house and scissors and paper and that sort of thing. And I like to make things. I started sewing at the age of 7. So that was great. Creative expression. I like to sing, even though I couldn't carry a tune, and I danced. I did tap, Hawaiian, Tahitian, and jazz. And yet, somehow later in my life, I found it difficult to really speak my truth, to really say what I was really thinking at times, um, and and allowing myself to really be heard and seen for who I truly am. Became a huge obstacle for me. And what I've discovered is that the more creative we are, yes, we need to heal those wounds of the past, but the more creative we are and the more we access the sacral chakra, the second chakra's vitality, the more that energy, that creative energy can flow up to the throat chakra. Because through creative expression, we can discover more of the truths within ourselves. Even painting, we can just get some watercolors or some acrylics. And through my life at different times, I've loved painting with acrylics. There's something about that flow, just getting the paint on the brush. And I like to paint on fabric. I've designed a number of garments that I've hand painted. And my favorite part is the hand painting. I just love getting that paint on fabric. There's something in it. It's something about the energy. And so the whole universe is creative. There is a creator. The creator created all of this. We look around us, everything has been created. Every tree or plant has come from a seed. There is this natural flow of energy in the universe, and that natural flow of energy wants to flow through us. And we just need to open ourselves to that. And so if you think back to when you were a kid, what was it that you liked to do the most? How creative were you? Maybe you liked to play hide and seek. Maybe you loved the hiding part. You had to get really creative with how you were going to hide. It doesn't have to be just in the arts. It can be. It can be through dance, the expression of energy, the expression of yourself through dance, the movements, or even exercise or sports, playing a sport. It can be very much about the arts, drawing and painting and coloring. Coloring has become a real hit with adults now. There's a trend on coloring and has been for quite a few years now. And it's a great way to express yourself. It's simple. It doesn't have to be complex. Or a lot of my clients like to write. And so how does the energy of their creativity flow through their writing. Maybe it's poetry or storytelling. Maybe it's a script for a play. I have one client completed this amazing script for a play, and it's something she's wanted to do for years. So what is your creative flow? And then it's just a matter of setting aside the time to do it, to just do it. And so how does this benefit the throat chakra? Well, it's through doing something creative or creating beauty. When we do something creative, we discover more of ourselves. There's something in us. Only we can paint that picture the way we painted. There's not going to be another duplication just because we cannot be duplicated. Only we can kick that soccer ball exactly like that. You know, whatever it is, that creativity. And it's actually the flow of energy. It helps the vibration of the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra is very much about creativity, it's sexuality, it's one-on-one relationships. And there's a certain flow, there's an essence of the sacral chakra. And doing creative things really helps us heal and become empowered. And it's getting that energy flowing. So let's just use painting, for example. You want to paint something, and maybe you want to take some classes, maybe you don't. But it's a matter of getting that brush on the paper without expectation. If you look at it as the process, the act of putting that paint on the board, on the canvas, on the paper, whatever you're using, and just feel that flow of energy. Feel that flow of energy. Don't even have an expectation of a beautiful outcome, because you want to get into the process. You want to get used to that flow. I kind of relate it to, I'm not a musician. I learned to play piano. My mother taught us all how to play piano. And at, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, I became very interested in the djembe. So much so that I took classes. I had a djembe given to me. I eventually bought a much larger, more professional djembe. And if you don't know what a djembe is, it's a drum that's sort of an hourglass shape. It's an African drum, and there's a skin on the top of it, and you place it between your legs and you play. Beep-beep-ba-dop-bop, beep-beep-bop-bop-boop-bop. That's the first rhythm that I learned. Anyway, so I had met these people that would jam on Friday nights. They would get together, and they were a group of musicians, and some of them played multiple instruments, and they would play guitar in there. And so I was hanging out with them, and there was a woman who played the tambourine, and I didn't play an instrument, and I certainly wasn't going to play the keyboard because it had been decades since I played piano. They gave me a djembe, and I would play that djembe. And after a few months of jamming with these people and just having fun, one night, it was like my hands were just playing the djembe. It was like the universe was moving through me. I was not playing that djembe. It was like I was observing myself playing, or I was being played. It was absolutely magnificent. You cannot buy that. You cannot pay anyone to just give that experience to you. It's priceless. And ever since then, you know, I would try after that to get that feeling back. And it was like a letting go. And that's what all these people were experiencing. They would just let go and play. And that's that creative energy flowing through us. So it wasn't so much about how it sounded, although it sounded much better than when I was focusing on it. It really just flowed. So that's the same thing with anything creative, anything that creates beauty, anything that flows within you. It's about the doing it. It's just about doing it. I do chakra readings, and I was doing a chakra reading on a young woman the other day, and her sacral chakra really needed some help. And I got the guidance that clay could be her tool, could be her medium that would really help her. And so it's not so much about making something with clay, just playing with it, just kneading it. If you think of a small child and you give silly putty or plasticine or whatever they, have now for kids, or that homemade Play-Doh, I used to make that for my kids. And it's just about them playing with it, just feeling it, and then eventually allowing something to form, through that. Even creative writing. I like to do my creative writing with my eyes closed and in meditation, and just let the words flow on my computer with no filter whatsoever. So it's getting that energy flow. So how does this help the throat chakra? Well, this helps the throat chakra because one of the things, if we have trouble speaking our truth, expressing ourselves, we're judging ourselves. There can be a fear in there. We may have been shut down when we were younger. All sorts of things could have happened to us. And so the energy is held back. The energy isn't just flowing. And so by getting that energy flowing in a different way, it can start to flow up and out the throat chakra. It can help with problem solving. You'll have more confidence to speak because you know yourself better, and you can better trust the flow of energy. And the sacral chakra and the throat chakra are linked. We are meant to express ourselves creatively. And that can just be in how we relate with other people, how you and I relate, how you and your best friends relate, your partner, your boss. There's a certain amount of creative energy that can flow, that we trust what we're going to say, to not be fearful or think we need to be perfect, or that we can make a mistake. The more we get to know ourselves through working that sacral chakra, that inner work, and being creative, the more we're able to express that. It comes out of the throat chakra, and it affects us in many other ways in our lives, to standing up for ourselves, setting healthy boundaries, being able to listen so much better, that we just trust. There's this element of trust and joy that goes along with it, and embracing exactly what is, embracing exactly what comes to us or what wants to be expressed. So I'd like to thank you for listening to me, and I hope that this helps you empower your throat chakra. And if you're interested, I'd be happy to do a chakra reading for you. You can reach me at CherylStelte.com, CherylStelte.com. Thank you so much.